Good morning, and welcome back to Bad Things Well Said Icelandic Newsroom.
Indeed. It's Wednesday, October 8th. And if you woke up feeling that familiar cocktail of irritation and disbelief...
Congratulations, you're probably just paying attention to the news from yesterday, October 7th.
Yesterday felt like a spectacular buffet of incompetence, really. Institutional failures left, right, and center.
And a masterclass in blame shifting.
Yeah.
It's impressive how quickly accountability vanishes when things go wrong at the top.
Oh, absolutely. The art of pointing fingers elsewhere is truly alive and well.
So our mission today, as always, is to cut through the noise, the spin, the sheer absurdity of it all.
We'll give you the rundown on what actually happened versus what they want you to think happened.
Right. So what's on the menu of misery this morning?
Well, first up, we've got the thrilling, deeply cynical conclusion to the Alþingi sleepover saga. Spoiler. Someone got fired and it wasn't anyone important.
Naturally. Then Reykjavík's rather, shall we say, creative approach to child safety involving nails and fire escapes.
You genuinely couldn't write it. It's something else.
We'll also dig into the great agricultural showdown, why the government's plan to strengthen farming has farmers reaching for their pitchforks, metaphorically speaking.
They're calling it an attack on the dairy industry. So, yeah, not happy.
And leaping across the Atlantic, we need to talk about LeBron James hijacking global attention for booze.
Ah, yes, the second decision. Less basketball, more brandy.
And finally, your absolutely essential survival guide for today's weather. Because nature doesn't do nuance, especially when it involves a triple threat in Faxafloy Bay.
It sounds suitably apocalyptic. Stay tuned for that.
And look, if you appreciate someone actually saying these things out loud, please hit that subscribe button, give us a 5-star review, feed the algorithm gods.
We run on coffee and your validation, mostly validation, so, click the things.
Okay, let's dive into this festival of failures. Segment 1, the competence deficit. It's a recurring theme, isn't it?
Depressingly so. And we start with the Alþingi break-in fallout, the inevitable scapegoat hunt.
And surprise, surprise, the hunt concluded very quickly and pointed directly at the lowest rung of the ladder.
The security guard on duty, fired. Case closed, apparently.
Johan Gunnar Johansson, the security CEO, used the term grafalvarlegt, deadly serious. Which it is, but
firing one guard feels, suspiciously convenient, doesn't it? It's the fastest way to make the problem go away without looking at the bigger picture.
Like, maybe why Parliament's security was outsourced and possibly underfunded in the first place? Asking for a friend?
Exactly. This allows everyone higher up, like Parliament President Horrifying Bernardodier, who was startled and is working through it. Bless her, to just move on.
It's performance art. Look busy, express concern, change nothing fundamental. They privatized the security, and now they've privatized the blame. Neat.
Textbook. Deflect, deflect, deflect. A systemic issue gets reduced to a single employee's alleged failure to follow protocol. Problem solved for them.
Right. And speaking of problems definitely not solved and systemic issues staring us in the face, Reykjavík, the preschool.
Oh God, this one. Hasaskogur Preschool in Breiðholt. Fire inspectors show up and find 17 violations.
17. And not minor stuff, we're talking
multiple fire escape routes nailed shut. Chain, blocked furniture.
Shut. Let that sink in. Fire escapes. Nailed shut.
And the rationale, the excuse offered.
To stop the kids wandering onto a nearby construction site.
Right, so you trade a manageable risk. A kid might wander off for an absolutely catastrophic one, trapping children in a potential fire.
It's breathtakingly poor judgment. It speaks to desperation, maybe. Understaffing. Chaos.
Well, Reykjavíkurborg's official response is, naturally, to blame everyone else. An external engineering firm, a contractor, anyone but the city itself.
Of course. Avoids confronting the chronic manacla, the staff shortages, and the skipalized lacy, the systemic disorganization that clearly plagued the system.
It's a symptom of a deeper sickness, isn't it? When staff feel forced into making choices like nailing fire escape shut. That's not just one bad apple, that's a rotten barrel.
So let's recap. Alþingi security fails to keep someone out, guard gets fired, preschool actively traps children in, blame gets outsourced to contractors.
The common denominator. Accountability finds a very reliable escape route. Just, ironically, not the fire escape. Okay, shifting gears slightly. Let's talk domestic disputes, specifically Pitchforks versus Spreadsheets in the agricultural sector.
Ah, yes, the great agricultural unraveling. Minister Hannah Katrin Fredriksson from Via Rise, the Reform Party.
Always about reform, isn't it?
She's put forward draft changes to the Búvörlög, the agricultural products law, framing it, of course, as strengthening farmers.
And aligning Iceland with countries around us, which usually means
More market forces, less protection, deregulation.
bingo. And Bindasum Token, the Farmers Association, saw right through it. Their reaction was swift and unambiguous.
They called it an attack on the Icelandic dairy industry. Demanded the whole draft be scrapped. No negotiation.
This isn't just tinkering around the edges. This feels existential for them.
So what's the actual flashpoint? What's the specific change causing this uproar?
It's the proposed removal of Article 71. Now, this article might sound obscure, but it's huge.
Explain Article 71 for the folks at home.
Basically, it's a long-standing legal exemption from competition law. It's what allows the cooperative dairy structure, think MS Iceland Dairies, to exist and function without being legally challenged as anti-competitive.
So it protects the collective bargaining power and structure of the dairy farmers.
Precisely. It's been the bedrock allowing smaller cooperative farms to survive against potentially larger, more aggressive market players. It underpins the whole system.
And the minister's argument for removing this fundamental protection
Is that it changes nothing in reality, which is, well, it's political spin, isn't it?
To put it mildly, it ignores the massive symbolic weight and the practical shield that article provides. The farmers see it as the government choosing abstract market theory over their livelihoods.
Absolutely. The rhetoric is strengthening, but the reality feels like pulling the rug out from under the entire dairy cooperative model. Prepare for battle.
And speaking of financial consequences and things not surviving, let's talk about the ghost of play air.
The cleanup bill. Finance Minister Dagi Mar Kristofferson has put a number on it, sort of.
Several hundred million kroner hitting the state treasury, the
Yeah.
Ríkissjóður. Mainly unemployment benefits for the 400 staff, plus lost taxes.
And the official government line.
That this was unforeseen. And hey, at least it's less costly than the WOW air collapse in 2019. Small mercies, right?
Unforeseen. Are they serious? This is the second major Icelandic airline implosion in 6 years? That's not a freak accident. That's a pattern, a systemic vulnerability.
It feels less like an unforeseen shock and more like predictable fallout from a certain kind of high-risk venture that the public inevitably backstops.
Exactly. It's becoming a disturbingly regular occurrence. Corporate adventure, public cost.
And the cherry on top, the multi-subsidiary Flyplay Europe Holdco, it still exists. It's a licensed airline shell company.
Now controlled by bondholders, apparently, but facing one teeny tiny operational challenge.
Which is
It's apparently quite difficult to run an airline without airplanes. Who knew?
a zombie airline. A perfect little metaphor for financial engineering, where the corporate structure outlives the actual business. Exploitation continues even after death. Okay, let's broaden our gaze. Cultural clashes and global trolling. First up, the handbag wars.
Right, this feels like a classic David and Goliath tale set in the fashion world.
David is Icelandic designer Salka Horace van Vitar Holm. She runs Valka Design. Goliath is Weekday, owned by the fast fashion behemoth H&M.
And the issue. Salka designed this really distinctive handbag, the Mill Tasca. Its key feature is this unique horse bit handle.
Very cool.
Very cool, and apparently very copyable. Weekday released a bag that looked, well, let's say heavily inspired.
Shockingly similar is probably more accurate. Salk accuses them straight up of copying her design. And Weekday's response. Their CEO, Kim Holm, promised to react immediately, which sounded promising.
But translated in corporate speak to do absolutely nothing visible. The bag was still listed for sale yesterday.
It's the brutal reality, isn't it? The small independent designer pours heart, soul, time, money into creating something unique.
And the giant corporation can just swoop in, tweak it just enough to muddy the legal waters and flood the market.
Forcing the original creator into a potentially bankrupting legal fight, they probably can't win, even if they're morally right. It's predatory.
It really is. Creative exploitation built into the fast fashion business model. Now, speaking of exploitation, but maybe of a different kind, LeBron James.
Oh, the great anticlimax. King James teased the decision of all decisions. A deliberate echo of his infamous 2010 The Decision battle.
And the world went nuts. Media frenzy, retirement, trade, back to Cleveland. Lakers ticket prices apparently went through the roof purely on speculation.
Everyone waiting with bated breath for this huge career-defining announcement.
What did we get?
A slick, expensive advertisement for Hennessy VSOP Cognac.
He took his talents to the top shelf of the liquor store.
I mean, the sheer audacity, using the cultural weight of his own past career dramas to build hype for a booze ad.
It's almost performance art in its cynicism, isn't it? It perfectly captures how celebrity, attention, and genuine public interest are just raw materials now.
Mined, processed, and sold back to us as a commercial. We all got played by LeBron and a French cognac company. It feels emblematic of something.
Emblematic of everything, perhaps.
Yeah.
While all this drama unfolds, though, some actual statecraft was happening.
Right, a quick diplomatic check-in. President Halla Tomasdottir is on her first state visit over in Finland. Seems to be going well.
And importantly, Foreign Minister Horrifying Katrin Gunnarsdottir was there too, and she signed a bilateral defense cooperation agreement with Finland.
Strengthening ties, NATO context, all that serious stuff.
It's just the irony. We can successfully negotiate and sign international defense pacts.
But back home, we struggled to secure the doors to our own parliament or ensure basic fire safety in a preschool. Priorities, eh?
Maybe the defense agreement includes tips on door locks. One can only hope.
Okay, enough of human folly for a moment, because Mother Nature is about to throw a serious tantrum, and we all need to pay attention. This is your essential survival guide for today, Wednesday.
Seriously, folks, put down the cynicism for 5 minutes. This weather looks nasty. A major storm system is brewing, and yellow warnings are up for the entire southern coast.
It's hitting in two main phases. Phase 1 is likely already happening as you listen this morning. Southerly winds may be 8 to 15 meters per second plus heavy rain, particularly around the capital.
But the real kicker is Phase 2. Starting around midday or early afternoon, the wind is forecast to shift dramatically to a westerly direction and ramp up big time.
We're talking sustained storm force winds 13 to potentially 23 meters per second. That's over 80 kilometers per hour, gusting higher. That is dangerous for driving, dangerous for anything not tied down. And there's a special warning, a really crucial one, for the Faxaflói Bay area. That's Reykjavík, is the whole coastal region there. The triple threat.
Sounds ominous. What constitutes the triple threat?
It's a nasty combination. 1, high waves rolling in from the Atlantic. 2, a strong storm surge. The Icelandic term is aladandi, where the wind physically pushes seawater onto the land.
And number 3.
3, it coincides with a naturally high spring tide, or storstreamed.
So high waves, wind pushing the water inland, and the tide already being unusually high. That sounds like a recipe for
Coastal flooding. Shavadanger. The sea literally walking on land, as the old phrase goes. Flooding low-lying coastal roads, harbors, potentially properties near the shore.
Okay, so this is serious business. What should people actually do?
Actionable advice. Secure absolutely everything loose outside. Trampolines, garden furniture, bins, they become projectiles at 23 meters per second. Check road conditions constantly on Furden.is or road.is before you even think about driving.
And maybe just don't travel this afternoon unless it's absolutely critical.
Honestly, yes. Cancel non-essential travel. Don't test this. Physics doesn't negotiate. Stay safe. Stay informed.
You know, it's quite the juxtaposition, isn't it? We spend all this time dissecting human error, corporate greed, political spin.
And then a 23 meter per second wind reminds us what actual non-negotiable reality looks like. It doesn't care about scapegoats or marketing campaigns.
Nope. The wind doesn't care about your carefully crafted narrative or your limited edition cognac. Today's main event is brought to you by atmospheric pressure gradients.
A sobering thought. Perhaps something to ponder while you're double-checking the latches on your shed.
Indeed. Well, that's about all the bad news, well said, that we have time for today on Bad Things, Well Said, Icelandic Newsroom.
Thanks for tuning in and sticking with us through the wreckage of yesterday's news cycle.
If you found any of this cathartic or even just mildly informative, do us a favor.
Please hit subscribe, leave a glowing review, tell your friends, shout it from the rooftops carefully, mind the wind.
Your support genuinely helps keep this cynical ship afloat. Stay safe out there today, everyone.
We'll be back next time with more commentary on whatever fresh hell awaits.
Disclaimer. The voices of this podcast were generated by AI. However, all information, facts, claims, concepts, and the script itself were prepared, editorial reviewed, and are the original work of a human author.